Hello, it is Saturday the 7th of December. I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm going to do a meme coin update ones I'm watching at. The main reason for doing this is it looks like some of the bigger original gangster meme coins are making a move. And if that works like it does in the rest of crypto, if they do make a move, for example, Doge breaks out of this sideways consolidation that it's been in, or Pepe looks like it's making a little bit of a move too. If this is true, then perhaps some of these smaller meme coins can follow on. I have a bit of I much prefer to look at these, especially the micro cap meme coins. They're quite fun because they can move. They move enough that you don't need leverage to trade them and still make really good money in them, which means you can't get wiped out. And so they're quite fun. Would I ever buy one of them on a launch from a scammer? Like, I see people complaining about this Hawk coin. Like, honestly, what did you expect? Look who you were buying it from. Like, ever since Caitlyn Jenner did a meme coin, or Jack, for goodness sake, Jack Doherty scamming all his followers. Like, wake up. Like, if you know it, I do think you can make money, but I definitely like to shake out the sharks and the scammers first, and then I think in some of them we can get really nice trades. You got to just be a bit more discerning, let's put it that way. So let's talk about why we might see some stuff moving and what's going on. So first off, here in Doge, big picture in Doge, we had a little bit of a pause. I'm looking at fib retrace from the highs that we made in 2021 to the lows that we made in 2022, and I'm leaning on these fib levels because we got such a textbook perfect reaction at this 236 fib. We blasted above it, blasted through the 38.2 in these previous highs, paused a little bit. If we go down to the daily, you can see we had a little bit of a pause at this 50% level, and then we washed through it, which is a pretty good pattern. And then what we've done here is, so here initially it was resistance, then we washed through, and now what it looks like is we pull back and found support for it and launching higher, which means for me, breaking out of this consolidation here, we could draw it like a little bit better like this. Let's take a look at this way, and next upside, obviously target would be 0.4887. Now if I go to the weekly and we measure all the way from all-time lows for this first swing, then the first resistance would be where this swing is 61.8 of the first swing. So in this zone between 0.488 and 0.519, we may complete this bigger swing that we are in and see a bigger pullback. But what's really exciting about these zones is if we don't, when you think about the potential for this with the new American administration and Elon Musk, if we can hold above this 0.519 zone and it becomes support just like we did at this 50% level, then the sky is next, right? We should see new all-time highs at 0.8, which would be that bigger measured move. But because potentially this is a big wave 1, wave 2 and wave 3, then this wave 3 that we're in could be 1.618 of this first swing. They often or usually do have a mathematical relationship, which takes us to the 1.2, 1.27 zone. Now, is this a really good place to buy for a big long swing and hodl? No, I think this is a trading zone because we're so stretched already on the upside. But whenever you get any kind of consolidation like this and a spring out of it, you can say, right, I'm wrong if we fall back underneath it. So this 50% level here at 0.4, like you're only wrong being bullish and holding Doge if we fall back underneath this level. And quite often in a 61.8 zone, you'll see a bit of a bigger pullback here. So if we don't break out of this high here and this 0.5 zone, sometimes you see in this 61.8 zone a bigger pullback, so a golden ratio zone. So you'll see like this, and this 50% level will be in the middle, will become a pivot, so we can do a bigger pullback, then again find support from it, or even just that's where we pull back to. But sometimes in this zone you can do a little bit of sideways, which as we if things get a little bit frothy, we could see that. But at the moment, this does look like it's about to squeeze out of this consolidation higher, and 0.5 next would be what I'm looking for. And quite a few other charts are looking pretty similar, so or squeezy or wanting to push higher. I don't like DOGE the DOGE coin at the moment. I have to say Doge is the big one. Look at that one maybe to follow on if it keeps going. But a few of them. Let's take a look at WIF and Pepe, which really are kind of... here we go. Here's Pepe. Now, if we go to the weekly chart of Pepe, don't have the hugest, longest history, obviously, 2023 coin. In this one, if we measure this lovely first 5-wave swing, and I talk about the measured moves that we are looking for, we could put this from the low, or we can put this from 0, because most of these coins all start at 0, right? And so we can see that we blasted through these previous highs and the 61.8 level, and we've had a pause for 2 weeks at this equal measured move level, and now we're peaking our head above this level. It's at 23.11. This was where this swing and this swing are equal. It's a very often pausing base, but remember, if we blast through this in 5 waves, the 1.618 or 2.618 of the first swing should be the target. And it looks like today, while it's quiet at the weekend, which is quite often what these coins do, we're trying to break out. For me, holding above this 23.11 level, which I had as a bit of a target's 33.78 next. Again, on the weekly, this would be where this swing is 1.618 of the first swing in Pepe. In between, I should put in this, sometimes we have a little bit of a wobble level at 1272, and that's at 27.80. So 27.80, but my target, the first target, should be really 33.78 in a 5th wave, if we can hold above this 23.11 level and it's not a false breakout. If we look down on lower time frames, we've only done it in the last hour or two. So at some point we are quite likely, we can see this is a previous double top level, triple top really. So if we get a little bit of a pullback at some point, this is where you want to see support. That would give a nice little retest long entry in Pepe. And very, very similar squeezy higher move. Sorry, I've got messy charts everywhere. Let's find it. Quite a few of them are making the same pattern, and I was looking for a breakout above a 50% in that one. Let's find WIF is very similar. Not all of them are doing it, obviously, but those are the ones that I'm looking at. This is WIF here. Now, if we go to the weekly of this one, if I measure like an ABC equal measure move, we could say from this low to high that we paused just short of this equal measured move level, and I wasn't sure they were working, but in WIF, again, because all of these coins start at 0, if I go back to 0 and start my count from there, we paused at a very nice 61.8 fib retrace level here, point at 4. And that means for me, if we can break and hold above this 4 level, next target would be 5.9. So let's hide that for a minute. Now, I've got fib retrace levels put on this because this we can see this first swing made a very nice 50% pullback and then carried on higher. And if I move this up, we've just done the same thing here, where we've pulled back to a 50% level and turned higher again. And so this support becomes resistance. This is now trending higher very nicely. Now, the thing about these 50% retraces, let's go down to the daily, is when you bounce from a 50% level, you're kind of wrong if you kind of just make a 3-wave measure move and only go 50% back, because mean reverting markets tend to keep mean reverting. So by that, I mean the danger level is from this high to low at this 50% point, right where we are now, 3.86. But if we push above that, Then again, keep buying pullbacks, and we're looking for that bigger target level in WIF. So we're in a little bit of a danger zone here, where if this is going to be a bigger kind of three-wave correction, this is where we might get stuck. But if we get above it, then buying pullbacks in this one, we're going to be looking for that bigger target. Let's have a look. Put that back on. There we go. 5.9, and then if WIF keeps going, so that this swing in 5 waves is 1.618 of the first swing, we can look for 8.8 next as a target. We can also, you know, when you do this like this, you can measure this correction, this lovely big three-wave correction we have made. You can put fib extensions on from this and look for them to kind of line up. They don't perfectly in this. Oh yeah, they do. Here we go. 5.8 here then, and 7. And yeah, so that 5.8 target kind of becomes pretty interesting if we can push through here to new highs in WIF. So they're all turning up higher, making really nice moves today. And I'm looking for therefore for the smaller altcoins to follow. Mudeng is another one that has bounced from a really nice 50, well, this is this 50% level that I'm talking about. So I've put it in Mudeng from the 0 point, really, or roughly 0 here. There we go. Okay. Low to high, this was a lovely 50% pullback here. We can see even this first one was a lovely 50% pullback, and we turned higher, and here we are doing the same again, 50% and turning higher. And this one took its time, made a lovely kind of double bottom here with a false breakdown, kind of rounded, kind of retest of the lows, and these false breakdowns or false break higher are often really strong reversals. So this has seen a really nice move. So if we look at it this way now, in Mudeng, if we're going to keep trending higher, if we measure from this high to low, here we've got this lovely, this time we've pulled back to a 61.8. But in terms of weekly, you know, this is a really nice pullback on a strong weekly candle, and we're turning up higher again. Now, if I put my fibs on from this low to high, when you bounce from a 61.8 level, remember that's that nasty golden ratio zone again, where you can get back and forward sideways in the middle. Bulls and the bears kind of fight it out. And quite often, you know, you'll go from one side of this to the middle, and then you're going to look for the middle of this range to be support on a pullback. So this 50% level here, and these, well, I'm not drawing this very well, and these previous highs, so 0.486. So if we get a little bit of a pullback here, I would like to see that to be support, and we continue higher. If we don't, and we drop back underneath these highs, then we're basically in this sideways zone and not necessarily made the bullish reversal bottom that we want yet. But this is a lovely, really impulsive move, three-wave pullback. You know, I like everything about this. So if this pulls back to 0.486 and turns higher from there, I'm gonna get in, and I'll have my stop under here, and we'll see. So I'm looking for, I'm not in this one yet, but that's what I'm looking for. One that I did put my turn today. Let's take a look at some more. Go back, find the one. Here we go. This is one. So this, let's look at this on a daily chart here. Non-playable coin. This has been in a really lovely uptrend. So unlike a lot of meme coins that you look at that just go all the way up and then keep going down and never come back again, this one keeps making really nice moves. So this is very nice 61.8 pullback, and this is what I mean here. Look, this, if I go from the lows on this chart here to the high, this pullback to a 61.8 up to the 38.2, pull back to the middle, didn't break out above that 38.2, went sideways in this range before it made a base. And so sometimes you see that in the 61.8, 38.2 zone, but when you do a nice big 50% pullback, So here, we bounced from a all-time lows to all-time highs, 50% level. Confirmation that we're going to keep going higher will be above this 38.2, and then because we've made 3 waves down, what I would be looking for, mean reverting markets tend to keep mean reverting. So I'm going to move my measurement here and say that if we, because we're just pushing these new highs, first target then is going to be 50% of this drop. We keep mean reverting, and we might, if we reverse there, do 50% pullback before we go higher in another swing. So that's how I'm looking at this. I'm also looking at this as, are we going to break out, or is this a false breakout above this previous double top? I like, in terms of the fib levels, how we're moving here though, because previously this 236 fib, if we hold above it, should be support. We keep going higher, and that's at 0.0397. So this one, you know, if you think about a simple trend, lower highs and lower lows, as soon as you take out that previous swing high and you make a higher low, you have reversed the trend and you're looking for another swing higher. And this, for me, especially with all these bunched up moving averages, would be ideal support. So I think non-playable coin, as long as we can hold above 0.0397, have a target of 0.497 next, and then maybe a pullback and keep going higher. But really, the way I work with these fib levels is, if we go from high to low, it's like climbing a ladder. You know, each one you get above should become support, and you keep climbing higher from here. So I've got that one and a few more. Let's take a look at a few more charts here. Let me see. Okay, this is what I mean about a coin. You kind of don't want to. I look at, when people mention coins, I always take a look at the chart. If it looks like this, it's done. Like, nothing it will do that will make me want to buy this. So unfortunately, okay, let's find peanut. So we've just been talking about these 50% or 61.8 pullbacks. This is the Binance chart. If I've got my very nice 5 waves up from the lows here, and we've bounced very nicely from this 61.8 fib level, and the 50% level in the middle, as we said, is usually quite often a pivot level, and in this chart that's exactly what's going on. It was support, then resistance. We made a very nice inverted head and shoulders pattern, continuation pattern, and we have pulled back and found support from this level. But we know, because of this big golden ratio zone, that the trouble area level that we really need to get above to be confirmed we've bottomed and are going higher is first 1.58, and it's quite possible that sometimes you get a little bit of a knockback here, and that's also these previous lows. So, you know, in terms of chart patterns, this looks great, doesn't it? 5 waves up, 3 waves back. Spent a lovely long time making a base, but again, we're just going to climb level to level to level, and I'm going to put my fib retrace levels on from this high and see where they overlap. And we can see here the 38.2 lines up, and then this 61.8 level up here lines up. So that would be like my first target, and then a retest of the highs, and then we can say, then we can take these off and say, right, measured move time, we'll measure from the low. This first swing, I'm going to measure from 0, like this. First target then would be a retest of the highs, which is where this swing would be 61.8 of the first swing. Then the equal measured move level for peanut comes in at 3.5. And then if we make a lovely big strong swing, 1.618 comes in up here. But we'll go level to level to level at the moment. And this 1.558 is our kind of real troubles area, and this previous low here, this is where we kind of really need to get above, and then that 1.9 next for peanut. So I think it's looking really good, but at the moment it's just a little bit choppy and slow. That's very common in crypto charts. When a swing starts, it starts slowly and it gets choppy, and then when it really goes, the fifth wave, you know, is really extended. So peanut is looking good, or looking promising, and bouncing from a really good level. Smoked chicken fish, smoking chicken fish is the one I love to trade. One thing I've kind of, it's very common in new markets and new coins to make 3-wave measured moves, and we've done this in smoking chicken fish a lot. 1, 2, 3 was this first swing, and then we had a lovely big rally back to the highs of the range. Couldn't break out of these highs initially, and here we've done another bigger 3-wave move back towards the bottom of the range. Haven't quite tagged the lows, and for me, the first sign that we're going to be going up, I'm going to put my fib retrace levels on this high to low on both swings of this move. And the confirmation that we're going to be going higher for me is above this 236 fib level here at 0.05529. And that's also where the daily 50 moving average is. So this is my kind of, yes, we are going up if we get above there. If not, we're still going down. This is the way the 236 fib works. And so holding above 0.055, 0.074 and 0.09. Next upside target. For now, though, we are kind of going sideways. This is not a really nasty bearish reversal. And here we are, chopping around in between these daily moving averages. And as you know, one thing I really like to see is 5 ways up, 3 ways back. And this is kind of exactly what we're seeing. So for me, smoking chicken fish has done a really nice, perfect correction here. Even lower time frame, if I measure from this high to low, this is kind of halfway back, and if we look at it on the daily, it's kind of halfway back, isn't it? So looking really promising, very nice correction, and above, holding above 0.055, we should see a really strong swing to 0.09. So I'm definitely watching this one. I think I've got an alarm on it already, but if I didn't, I'm going to check. Because if it can hold above here, and I like to watch it on lower time frames, I'll watch it hold above, and if it does, then I'm in. I'll help push it higher by buying some too. So that's smoking chicken fish. I've got a request for LKY. Let's take a look at LKY. So this is another one. It's not on Binance, Lucky Coin. Now, it's a good name. I tend to put the fibs on, and I look and see, are they working on what I can see? Now, this is, again, a really nice pattern. 1, 2, 5 waves up, 3 waves back. This first one turned into a bigger 3-wave move. I'm okay with that. We've bounced. This is pretty nicely bouncing from a 61.8 fib level. If we do this, and here we are kind of going sideways. Also, if I measure first swing projected from here, this is a 61.8 level. So for me, that's pretty important, because if we break this 61.8 level again, or get underneath 8, we're likely to go back to 4, which is quite a lot to give back, isn't it? And it would mean that we're kind of doing a bigger 1, 2, 3 move before this takes off, which is very common in these meme coins. So here we are in this golden ratio zone, then kind of going a little bit sideways. 61.8, 38.2. We are making 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back. I'd like to see this go higher, but again, I'm trading fib level to fib level in these, and this one, I'm not trading this one yet. Actually, I haven't yet, but I'd like to see this chart, because this is such a really nice bullish pattern if it does. So 11 is resistance, 13.7 is resistance, and above 13.7, this whole kind of corrective sideways should be over, and we'll see our next bigger swing higher, and we're going to just do the same thing and measure the targets the same way. So that means I'm going to go from 0 to this first swing. If this was over here, we don't make a new low, I'm going to measure from here. So first target would be where this swing is 61.8 of the first swing, which is a retest of the highs at 17.9, and then the second target 24. So until then, we're kind of a little bit sideways, but this is another one because it's such a, it's a pretty cool chart in this respect, that if all of the others go, if Doge breaks higher and Pepe and the other bigger, the smaller ones will follow on. So yeah, looking at that one too. Some of the others, you know, I keep looking at, they're kind of iffy around those 50% levels. Not clear yet that we have reversed, but seeing some good moves that I've got my eye on. Good luck. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to look at.